For today's topic, we're going to talk about rational functions. The applications of rational polynomial functions, or simply rational functions, are enormous in more advanced mathematical disciplines such as ring theory and numerical analysis. Rational functions are used to model complex science and engineering equations, including forces, electronics, optics, aerodynamics, acoustics in physics, and even in the field of medicine. Rational functions are likewise used in multiple areas of study to predict outcomes in economics. One of the more practical applications of rational equations is in solving work problems. At the end of this series, you will learn the following. So first, you will learn how to distinguish rational function, rational equation, and rational inequalities. And second, you will learn how to solve rational equations and inequalities. Let's start with rational equations. So rational equations, those are equations that contains rational expressions. When we say rational expressions, those are in the form of fractions. So it is considered as rational expression. So it is referred to be a rational equation. So I will give you an example here to show what the rational equation looks like. So this one, 5x over 6 minus 1 half is equal to 1/3. So this is an example of a rational equation because you have rational expressions here. And our goal here is to solve for the value of x. So how do we do that? In solving rational equations, what you're going to do is to multiply each term of the equation by the least common denominator, also known as the LCD, then solve the resulting equation. So let's solve this one. So in here, we have the denominators as 6, 2, and 3. So meaning our LCD here will be 6. So how do we get the least common denominator here? So we have 6, 2, and 3. So what you're going to do is to list the prime factors of each. The prime factors of 6 is 2 times 3. 2 is 2 only. And 3 is 3 only. So what you're going to do here is to pair them up. This is considered as 1, 2 only. And this is considered as 1, 3 only. So meaning your LCD will be equal to 2 multiplied by 3 and simply 6. What you're going to do is to multiply both sides of the equation 5x over 6 minus 1 half is equal to 1/3 by 6. So first, 6 divided by 6, that will be 1, multiplied by 5x. So that will be 5x. Then 6 divided by 2, that's 3, times 1, that would be negative 3. Then 6 divided by 3 is 2, times 1, that is equal to 2. Then we can now solve for the value of x. So this will be 5x. Then the additive inverse of negative 3, that would be positive 3. So 2 plus 3. So 5x is equal to 5. Then we will do multiplicative inverse by dividing both sides by 5. X will be equal to 1. So we need to check if your answer is correct. So what you're going to do here is to substitute 1 as the value of your x. So this will be 5 times 1 over 6 minus 1 half. It should be equal to 1/3. So 5 times 1, that's 5 over 6. Then 1 half, we will convert this into similar fractions. So the denominator should be 6 also. Then to change the numerator, what you're going to do is to divide 6 to the old denominator, which is 2. So 6 divided by 2, that's 3. Multiply by the numerator, which is 1. So that will be 3. Is equal to 1/3. So we subtract 5 minus 3, that will be 2. Over 6 is equal to 1/3. The lowest term for 2 over 6 is 1/3. So therefore, x is equal to 1. So the solution x is correct. Let us now have this example. So in here we have 4x minus 6 over 2x minus 3 is equal to 7 over x plus 1. In this given equation, it is in proportion form. So meaning we can just simply use cross multiplication here. So this will be 4x minus 6 multiplied by x plus 1 is equal to 7 multiplied by 2x minus 3. So we will use FOIL method in multiplying two binomials here. So this will be 4x squared plus 4x minus 6x minus 6. Then we will distribute 7 here. So this will be 14x minus 21. So next will be combining similar terms. This will be 4x squared minus 2x minus 6 is equal to 14x minus 21. Then the next thing that you have to do is to put all of the terms on the left-hand side of the equation. So what you're going to do is to use the additive inverse of 14x and negative 21. So meaning we will subtract negative 14x on both sides of the equations and positive 21 also. So this will be 4x squared minus 2x minus 14x minus 6 plus 21 is equal to 0. Combining similar terms, you will have 4x squared minus 16x plus 15 is equal to 0. So the next thing that you have to do is to do factoring. To factor this out, what you're going to do first is to multiply a to c. So that would be equal to 60. Then what you're going to do is to think of a number wherein if you add them up, it will be equal to negative 16. But if you multiply it, it will be equal to positive 60. So for this case, it can be negative 10 multiplied by negative 6. So what you're going to do is to expand this part. So this will be 4x squared minus 10x minus 6x. We just expanded negative 16x plus 15 is equal to 0. Then we will factor this out. So common factors of 4x squared and negative 10x is 2x. What remain inside will be 2x minus 5 minus the common factors of 6x and 15, that would be 3. So inside you will have 2x minus 5 is equal to 0. As you can see, we have here same factors, which is 2x minus 5. So what you're going to do is to write it as 1 only. So 2x minus 5. Then just copy this, 2x minus 3. So we will multiply it by 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So you now have the factored form. So next will be equating the factors by 0. Then solving for the value of x. So this will be 2x is equal to 5. X is equal to 5 over 2. And x is equal to 3 over 2. If you solve this part, this will be 2x is equal to positive 3. Then we divide both sides by 2. Same goes here. So we have two roots here, two possible roots. You have to check whether those roots uh, are true to the equation given here, because there are cases that you have the roots here, but it's extraneous root. When we say extraneous root, those roots are not the root given in the equation. So let me erase all of this one first. Okay, there you go. So we know that we have two possible roots, which is 5 over 2, and 3 over 2. What we are going to do here is to substitute these values. If it makes your statement true, then it is a root. If it's not, it's an extraneous root, meaning it's not the solution. So let's start with x is equal to 5 over 2. So this will be 4 multiplied by 5 over 2 minus 6 over 2 multiplied by 5 over 2 minus 3 is equal to 7 over 5 over 2 plus 1. So this will be 2 times 5. That will be 10 minus 6 over 5 minus 3 is equal to 7 over. So this part would be, instead of 1, we can use 5 over 5 instead. So this will be 5 plus 5. That's, wait. We will use 2 over 2 instead, rather, because the denominator here is 2. So plus 2 over 2, this will be 7 over 2. So simplifying, this will be 4 over 2 is equal to, so 7 over 2, that would be 14 over 7. So this will be 2. Wait, let me erase this first. So this will be 2 is equal to 2. So meaning x is equal to 5 over 2 is a root on this equation. Let's try to solve if x is 3 halves. So this will be 4 multiplied by 3 halves minus 6 over 2 multiplied by 3 halves minus 3 is equal to 7 over 3 halves plus 1. So this will be 6 minus 6 over 3 minus 3 is equal to 7 over 3 halves plus 2 over 2. So this will be 0 over 0 is not equal to 7 and 5 halves. So as you can see, we already have indeterminate form here. So 0 over 0, that will not be equal to 14 over 5. So meaning 3 halves is not a root. So this is what you call the extraneous root. Meaning, this is not a solution on your equation. The only answer that you need here is x is equal to 5 over 2. So the solution for 4x minus 6 over 2x minus 3 is equal to 7 over x plus 1 is only x is equal to 5 over 2. We're gonna end the video here. So on the next video, please do expect that you will have more examples. We will answer this one, 5x over 6 plus 1/3 is equal to 7 over 12. But if you would like to check if you already know how to solve this one, you can solve this first before I upload the video. Then you can check if your answer is correct by watching the second video on this series. So that will be all for today's topic. So hopefully you learn from rational equations, and that will be our math minute for today. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.